Good evening and welcome to TC Network. I am Tingnay Tim Hoki bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include 12 martyrs of Kuki-Zo in Jiribam laid to rest with dignity. No institutions open in respect of the martyrs. Kuki-Zo groups warn of intensified shutdown if Manipur government fails to resign in sensitive transport policies. Center extends deadline for Manipur Violence Inquiry Commission to May 2025. News in details. The funeral of 12 Kuki-Zo village volunteers, including the 10 killed by CRPF in Jiribam, was held today in Manipur's Churachandpur district. The Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum ITLF held an emergency meeting on Saturday, following which the announcement was made for their burial. Earlier, ITLF had decided that the funeral of the Kuki-Zo youths would not be conducted till their post-mortem reports were handed to the families. The post-mortem reports were examined together by a forensic and legal expert. According to the experts, the post-mortem reports are satisfactory, the ITLF said in a public notice. The organization, however, said it would continue to pursue the legal cases related to the deceased people. According to the schedule shared with the press, the funeral service was attended by Ginza Lala, who is the advisor technical to Mizoram Chief Minister Laldu Oma, and also a JPM MLA apart from other dignitaries. Spearheaded by the ITLF, a silent rally was also organized today. Post-mortem examinations of the 10 Kuki-Zo men, whom the ITLF claimed as village volunteers against the Manipur's government's assertion that they were militants, were conducted at the Silchar Medical College and Hospital SMCH in Assam. Mention may be made that the autopsy of one of the other two youths was conducted in Aizol, while the remaining one was done at SMCH Tombing said, announcing that there will be a total shutdown today as a mark of respect for the deceased youths. ITLF asked students groups to arrange placards and banners for the rally. After the bodies reached Churachandpur, they were kept at the morgue of a local hospital. Final tribute to our 12 martyrs was held today at the Wall of Remembrance Peace Ground, Tuibung, under the behest of the Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum ITLF. The entire funeral program has been divided into two sessions. The first one began at 11 a.m. in Peace Ground in Tuibung, where people from all sections of society paid their respects to the 12 martyrs. The second session was held from 2 p.m. at Martyrs Cemetery Second, where the martyrs were finally put to rest in a solemn manner. Mon Tombing Secretary ITLF during the program read out a memorandum to be submitted to the Union Home Ministry. When the bodies of the martyrs arrived, all the participants kept a minute of silence to show their respect to the arriving martyrs, which was followed by covering the martyrs with traditional shawls by the various CSO tribe in peace. Garlanding was done by the ITLF Women Wing. It was followed by a speech from ex-Ginja Lala, Honorable MLA Mizoram and advisor to CM Mizoram. He quoted from the Bible story of Israel being enslaved in Babylon, saying that the Jo Naglak in Manipur are undergoing a very much alike situation. The present crisis arises due to the misgovernance of the Manipur government over its citizens, and that the Mizoram government has been putting in words to the central government to resolve the issue in the earliest. It is due to the majoritarian community abusive power that the Manipur crisis remained unresolved till today, he added. He also addressed the internal conflicts between sub-tribes in Lamka and advises all leaders to be humble to maintain peace. He conveys Mizoram love and pity for their brethren in Manipur and says that we are willing to give you all necessary help to resolve this conflict. He also says that one of the top priorities of the Mizoram Chief Minister is to renovate the Mizoram-Manipur Highway, which serves as a lifeline for the Zone Naglak in Manipur. He also covered the martyrs with traditional salt on behalf of the Mizoram government. Zhang Manghao Vice President Kim in his speech praises the bravery of the martyrs and says that the martyrs who are to be laid to rest today are heroes of the nation. They are mourned and grieved not only by their family members but by the whole community, he added. When we get our freedom from the communal Meitei government, we will give them the highest form of respect and their names shall be recorded and remembered in our history, he highlighted. He argues that the whole community to be united at all times and not only when circumstances befall us. Vumsuan Naulak Chairman Jomi Council in his speech says that he is totally against the governance of the Manipur government and that the center government needs to take befitting action against the government who wishes to see the end of the minority communities in his state. He wishes that the blood of the 12 martyrs will give us new courage, new hope and bind us unitedly. Fabena Secretary CYMA also delivered speech during the program. The 12 martyrs who were laid to rest today were Lal Siam Lianmar, son of Kunga of Valpakot, Henry Lal Sang Len, son of El Lal Nunmoya of Hopuibung, Elvis Lal Ropuizote, son of Lal Tron Sang of Hopuibung, Robert Lal Nunlong, son of Albert Amo of Ngurte, Joseph Lal Ditum, son of Rosang Jol of Molvaipe, Lal Tanay, son of Hopui Lun of Molvaipe, Francis Larjarlian, son of Ban Lal Swang of Tien Mold, Rol Nei Sang, son of Lal Son Lian of Dolbung, Tipaimuk, Ram Nei Lian, son of Rema of Tien Mol and Phim Lei Kung, son of Benjamin of Ngurte, respectively. And the other two were Haujel Dongel, 27, son of Selam Dongel and husband of Kim Nu of Pangmol Village, Tosim Subdivision, Tamenglong District, and Mang Ja Khong Sai, husband of Ningnei Ling Khong Sai of Paitol Village, respectively. They were laid to rest at Martyr Cemetery 2nd. The civil society organizations of Sadar Hills Kangpo Peace 48-hour total shutdown have been strictly enforced across the entire Kangpo district since midnight on December 3. All shops and markets remain completely closed throughout the day, disrupting normal life in the district. However, schools and vehicular movement were exempted from the purview of the shutdown. The total shutdown was imposed following the Manipur government's public appeal notification on the resumption of public transport services along the Imphal-Kangpopi Sinapati and Imphal-Bisnupur-Churachandpur roads. Hundreds of Kuki-Zo women were seen congregating at Gamgipai, a strategic Kuki-Zo village in the fringe area bordering Kangpopi and Imphal ways, to block any attempt to enforce the government's decision to restart public transport services. Addressing the media, NG Lun Kipgan, spokesperson for the Committee on Tribal Unity KOTU, reflecting the escalating tensions in Manipur, declared the Kuki-Zo community's unwavering opposition to what it deems a partisan and baseless government directive. He recalled that the Manipur government's order issued from Imphal mandates free vehicular movement from Imphal to Dimapur, a road the Kuki-Zo community has never obstructed by their actions. Lambasting the directives as a deliberate attempt to vilify the Kuki-Zo community and undermine their struggle for separate administration, KOTU spokesperson Anjilun Kipgam emphasized the order is not only unwarranted but preposterous. It served no purpose other than to project a distorted narrative against the Kuki-Zo people, Kipgan asserted. Kipgan accused the state's chief minister of persistently attempting to derail the Kuki-Zo movement, stating, in his fourth desperate attempt, the chief minister has sought to impose vilified and unfounded ideas upon us, further exacerbating the divide. Reaffirming their defense, KOTU categorically rejected any orders emanating from Imphal. We will enforce strict and democratic forms of protest until the government resigns this partisan order. The Kuki-Zo community will not bow to coercion or manipulation, Kipgan warned. Meanwhile, the Kuki in Sadar Hills has strongly opposed the Manipur government's recent directive to deploy Manipur State Transport MST buses in violence-affected areas amidst the ongoing Kuki-Zo Meitei conflict. The Kuki MP criticized the move, calling it a reckless and insensitive attempt to restore public services without addressing the underlying political tensions. The Kuki MP argued that deploying MST buses under heavy security in such volatile regions ignores the ground realities and could escalate an already precarious situation. This decision risks endangering lives and reflects the state government's insensitivity towards the plight of the Kuki-Zo community, it stated. The Kuki MP warned that any incidents arising from this ill-conceived division would place full responsibility on the state government. Instead, of enforcing transportation services in conflict zones, the Kuki-Inpi proposed alternative routes for MST operations including Moirang Infal, Sekmai, Gamgipay Kangpopi Tamenglong, Gamgipay Kangpopi Mau, Lamka Churachandpur, Songdo Lamka, Kakching Infal Moirang, and Palin More Palin. The organization urged the government to prioritize addressing the political demands of the Kuki-Zo community and work towards lasting peace in the region. Deploying buses without resolving the root cause of the conflict will only worsen communal tensions, it stated. The central government has extended the deadline for the Commission of Inquiry investigating the ethnic violence in Manipur, which has claimed at least 258 lives, to May 20, 2025. This marks the second extension granted to the Commission, initially established on June 4, 2023. The Commission, led by former Guwahati High Court Chief Justice Ajay Lamba and comprising retired IAS officer Himanshu Sekhar Das and retired IPS officer Aloka Prabhakar, was mandated to investigate the cause and progression of the violence that erupted on May 3, 2023. The violence, triggered by a tribal solidarity march opposing the Meitei community's demand for scheduled tribe status, has resulted in widespread casualties and displacement. The Commission's primary objectives include investigating the causes and spread of the violence, probing potential lapses or negligence by authorities or individuals, examining the adequacy of administrative measures taken to prevent and address the violence, reviewing complaints or allegations from individuals or associations related to the incidents. Initially, the Commission was expected to submit its findings within 6 months of its first sitting. However, the deadline was first extended to November 20, 2024 and now further pushed to May 20, 2025. The Ministry of Home Affairs, in its fresh notification, reiterated the urgency of the inquiry, emphasizing the need for a comprehensive report on the tragic events. Ethnic clashes erupted on May 3, 2023, following tensions between the Meitei community in the Infal Valley and the Kuki-Zo groups from the hill districts. The violence led to significant loss of life and displacement, with thousands rendered homeless as properties were destroyed in acts of arson. The government of Manipur, recognizing the gravity of the situation, recommended on May 29, 2023, the formation of a judicial inquiry under the Commission of Inquiry Act 1952. The extended timeline underscores the complexities of the investigation, which aims to address key questions of accountability and recommend measures to prevent such incidents in the future. The Commission's findings are expected to shed light on the sequence of events, administrative responses, and broader socio-political factors underlying the violence. In a memorandum submitted to the Government of India, various civil society organizations representing the Kuki-Zo community in Tengnopal district have expressed strong opposition to the proposed construction of the Indo-Myanmar border fencing in the area by holding a sit-in protest at More Tengnopal district under the behest of Kuki Chief Association and CSO leaders of the areas. The sit-in protest was held in retaliation against the government continuation of the border fencing, despite repeated opposal and hesitation from the native settlers of the areas. The protesters expressed their anger and discontentment regarding the government biased judgment. The government, instead of trying to investigate the matter and bringing the truth to light, they blindly and willingly took the side of the Meiteis and chose to believe the lame lies brought by the Meitei communities. The protester expresses how the government had forsaken them by forsaking the truth. Judging the way the central government ignored the native settlers, it won't be wrong to say that the central government had joined hands with the Meitei, one protester stated. This border fencing can bring forth numerous hardships to the native people settling in the border regions. The Mas warned the central government to completely hold the border fencing, or else they will agitate even more in the future. A memorandum was also submitted to the Home Minister through Letpao Hokip, Honorable Minister T.A.N. Hills. The memorandum, signed by several CSO representatives, highlights the concerns of the Kuki-Zo community who live along the Indo-Myanmar border for generations. The community shares strong social, cultural, and economic ties with Kuki-Zo populations across the border, and the proposed fencing threatens to disrupt these connections, isolating families and communities. The CSOs have urged the government of India to reconsider the construction of the border fencing, citing concerns that it would infringe upon the historical and traditional rights of the Kuki-Zo people. The community has historically lived and thrived in these areas without artificial boundaries, and the construction of the border fencing would be seen as an infringement on their ancestral rights and a disregard for their unique identity and heritage. The memorandum also calls upon the government of India to explore alternative measures for border security that do not infringe upon the rights of the indigenous Kuki-Zo community. The CSOs have urged the government to balance national security concerns with the protection of human rights and cultural heritage. The opposition to the border fencing has been gaining momentum in recent weeks, with several community leaders and organizations speaking out against the proposal. The Kuki-Zo community has vowed to continue their opposition to the border fencing, citing concerns for their way of life, cultural heritage, and ancestral rights. Security forces conducted search and area domination operations in the hill and valley districts of Manipur, leading to the recovery of several weapons. The operation was carried out in the Phungei-Ching Ngamukhong area of Taubal district. The search yielded a significant arsenal including multiple firearms such as an SLR, SMG carbine, 12-bore double-barrel gun, 9mm and 32mm pistols, 6 high-explosive grenades, 2 detonators, 39 live ammunition rounds, a Baofeng walkie-talkie, and 5 arming rings recovered from the fringed and vulnerable areas. Earlier on December 2, Manipur police had arrested 4 members of the KCP-PWZ militant group from Kakching Lamkhai, Kakching district. The arrested militants Saddam Prem Kumar Singh 45, Saikhom Sidan Singh 33, Nongmai Team Haridas Singh 56, and Khungdogbab Tomba Singh 40 were involved in extortion and illegal arms possession. During their arrest, authorities recovered additional evidence including a 7.26 into 25mm M20 pistol with magazine, 3 live rounds, 5 mobile phones, and 1 four-wheeler vehicle, demand letters, and 80 blank text received of the KCP-PWZ organization. In response to the government of Manipur's recent public appeal to resume vehicular movement on the Imphal-Kangpopi Senapati and Imphal-Bisnupur-Churachandpur roads, civil society organizations in Sadar Hills Kangpopi district have imposed a 48-hour total shutdown effective from midnight on December 3. The shutdown follows the state government's announcement to reinstate public vehicle services starting December 4, 2024, with strict security measures in place. This decision came after the government's assessment of the law and order situation, which included consultations with security forces and agencies. However, the Kuki-Zo communities in Sadar Hills have strongly opposed this move, accusing the government of attempting to forcefully normalize the situation in the region. The opposition is rooted in a deep mistrust of the government's intention, with local leaders and activists labeling the initiative as a bulldoze peace attempt that disregards the concerns of the Kuki-Zo people. In response, a massive protest has erupted in the district, with residents voicing their anger at what they perceive as the imposition of the government's decision on their community. The 48-hour shutdown is seen as a form of resistance against what they consider as an unjust and unilateral decision by the state authorities. Local shops, schools, markets, and other businesses will remain closed. The civil society organizations have also called for the immediate suspension of government offices in Sadar Hills, Kangpopi, to express their resentment against what they claim is a biased and nepotistic notification by the state government. However, educational institutions in the district, considering the ongoing academic examinations, will be exempt from the shutdown, while there will be no restriction on vehicular movement during the 48-hour total shutdown. But if the government fails to withdraw its decision, restriction of commercial vehicles will be imposed in the next course of action. With the decision to impose the total shutdown, the people of Kangpokpi are sending a strong message to the government of Manipur that peace cannot be imposed and that their voices must be heard in any efforts to resolve the situation in the region. Manipur Chief Secretary spearheaded a review of healthcare infrastructure in the state's hill regions on December 4, targeting systemic gaps in medical service delivery. The comprehensive meeting with health officials and district administrators addressed fundamental challenges facing remote healthcare systems. Strategic interventions will focus on optimizing medical professional deployment, ensuring blood bank functionality, and enhancing local health facility oversight. State authorities will develop a targeted approach to resource allocation, concentrating on constructing essential healthcare infrastructure like primary health centers and sub-centers. The initiative aims to resolve long-standing disparities in medical service accessibility, particularly in geographically challenging hill districts. Key strategic directives emerged from the high-level discussion, emphasizing proactive management of healthcare gaps. District Commissioner will now play a direct role in monitoring local medical facility performance, working closely with chief medical officers to implement meaningful improvements. In response to the brutal murder of 3 women and 3 children, a fact-finding team from the Manipur State Commission for Women, MSCW, led by its chairperson and accompanied by 2 members, conducted an investigative visit to Jiribam on November 28, 2024. On November 29, the MSCW team convened a crucial meeting chaired by the Deputy Commissioner of Jiribam. Representatives from various key departments including the police, social welfare, and medical departments were present to address pressing issues affecting the relief camps in the area. These departments highlighted both immediate challenges and long-term concerns regarding the management and welfare of camp residents. In addition, the MSCW team held a detailed discussion with the Special Superintendent of Police and nodal officers overseeing the relief camps. The meeting focused on administrative bottlenecks and strategies to improve living conditions of camp inmates. The team also visited the one-stop center in Jiribam district, engaging with its staff to understand their operations and challenges. Furthermore, the MSCW delegation met with the families of the victims, offering a platform for them to voice their grievances and concerns. Post-mortem examination reports of 10 Kuki-Zo youths, including a minor, who were recently killed in an alleged gunfight with the CRPF, suggest that they received multiple fatal bullet injuries and most of them were fired from behind. An analysis of the autopsy reports indicated that the bullet wounds were the only injuries on their bodies, reported the Press Trust of India. The Manipur police had claimed on November 11 that 10 suspected militants were killed following a gunfight with security forces. Officials had said that the gunfight took place after insurgents in camouflage uniforms and armed with sophisticated weapons opened fire on Borobekra police station and an adjacent CRPF camp at Jakurador in Jiribam district. Notably, while 6 bodies were brought to the Silchar Medical College and Hospital in Assam the next day on November 12, 4 reached the hospital on November 14 and were in early stages of decomposition. The estimated time of death for the bodies on which autopsy was conducted on November 12 was 24 to 36 hours before, while those arriving on November 14 were 72 to 96 hours. The bodies had multiple bullet wounds, with some of the deceased having even more than a dozen such injuries. While 4 bodies had 1 eye missing each, the opinion regarding the cause of death has been kept pending by doctors who are awaiting chemical analysis reports on viscera. The Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum ITLF, a key organization of the Kuki-Zo community in Manipur, has said that the deceased youths were village volunteers, while the Manipur government has maintained that they were militants. Ethnic violence began in Manipur in May 2023 and has been going on ever since, killing hundreds, displaced tens of thousands, and sharply dividing the state along ethnic lines. An 18-year-old contestant, Anon Konyak, won the Miss Nagaland 2024 title on December 4 at the Regional Center for Music and Performing Arts. The event highlighted talent, confidence, and aspirations of young women in the state. Konyak's win goes beyond beauty, showcasing the empowerment of young Naga women. The competition celebrated individuality, with participants displaying diverse talents that challenge traditional pageant norms. Nikali K. Sone and Kelulu Dohuo were the first and second runner-up respectively, while special awards recognized various skills from photogenic presence to artistic creativity. Organized by the Beauty and Aesthetics Society Nagaland, the pageants focus on personal growth and intellectual abilities, moving away from stereotypes. Cash prizes and support from local sponsors highlighted efforts to back young women's dreams. As Miss Nagaland, Konyak has earned direct entry to the Miss Northeast 2025 competition, paving the way for future opportunities. The event, now in its 33rd year, continues to provide a platform for emerging female talent in Nagaland. The Minister of State for Rural Development, Dr. Chandrasekhar Pemmasani, presented a detailed report in the Lok Sabha emphasizing the success of the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana National Rural Livelihoods Mission in empowering rural women across Northeast India. The report, submitted in response to a question by Kota Srinivasa Pujari and Jamala Kiran Kumar Reddy, highlighted the economic upliftment brought about by the Lakpati Didi initiative and the Namo Drone Didi scheme. The Lakpati Didi initiative, a core component of the NRLM, focuses on ensuring that members of self-help groups (SHGs) achieve a sustainable annual income of Rs 1 lakh. This transformative program has significantly impacted rural women across the 8 northeastern states, with over 6.7 lakh women benefiting from it. These numbers highlighted the widespread reach and impact of the initiative, which continues to transform life across the region. The program has seen varying levels of success across Northeast India, with Assam emerging as the leader with a remarkable 5,18,359 beneficiaries. Other states have also made significant progress. Tripura, 58,495 beneficiaries, Meghalaya, 39,976 beneficiaries, Mizoram, 17,167 beneficiaries, Manipur, 15,559 beneficiaries, Nagaland, 12,294 beneficiaries, Sikkim, 7,794 beneficiaries, Arunachal Pradesh, 5,057 beneficiaries. These numbers underline the extensive reach of the program, which has been instrumental in improving the quality of life for rural women across the region. The Namo Drone Didi scheme, another initiative under DAY-NRLM, is a pioneering effort by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare to introduce technology-driven solutions in agriculture. The scheme aims to provide 15,000 drones to SHG members across India between 2023 and 2026. During the first phase in 2023-24, 503 drones were distributed nationwide, including 9 drones allocated to Assam, the only northeastern state to receive drones so far. These drones, funded by fertilizer companies, are primarily used for precision agriculture, including tasks such as crop spraying for fertilizers and pesticides, monitoring crop health, optimizing resource usage in farming operations. The scheme empowers rural women by equipping them with technical skills to operate drones, thereby modernizing agriculture and enhancing productivity. Future phases of the scheme are expected to distribute drones to other northeastern states, bringing advanced technology to the region's farming communities. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday congratulated the people of Nagaland on the completion of 25 years of Hornbill Festival and urged citizens to visit the festival and experience the vibrancy of Nagaland culture. My best wishes for the ongoing Hornbill Festival and congratulations to the people of Nagaland on this lively festival completing 25 years. I am also glad to see the focus on waste management and sustainability during this year's festival. I have fond memories from my own visit to this festival a few years ago, and I urge others to visit it and experience the vibrancy of Naga culture, PM Modi posted on X. The Hornbill Festival, often referred to as the Festival of Festivals, is known for its diverse cultural performances, including music, dance, and traditional arts forms. Running from December 1 to December 10, this year's festival is poised to be a grand celebration of Nagaland's rich cultural heritage alongside global artistic partnerships. This year, the festival is adding an international dimension to its programming through a collaboration with the British Council and the state of Nagaland. The partnership, formed under the banner of Wales in India 2024, highlights the long-standing commitment of both the British Council and the Wales government to promote cultural exchange. As part of this collaboration, Matthias and fellow Wales folk musician Gareth Bonello will perform alongside local Naga artist Seyi Vino Chuzo and Khasi artist Benedict Skemlang Nyuto. The cross-cultural music performances are expected to be a major draw for festival goers, showcasing an exciting blend of Wales and Naga musical traditions. The British Council's involvement, which was officially announced during a visit by Nagaland's Chief Minister Nephew Rao to Wales in October, highlights the growing relationship between the UK and Nagaland. The initiative is also supported by the British Deputy High Commission in Kolkata, Wales Arts International, and the Indian Wales Cultural Fund, which aims to foster a new platform for both Indians and Wales artists. In addition to the musical performances, the festival offers several discussion sessions that explore the intersections of culture, art, and education. India is well positioned to be a driver of greater wealth, says a global wealth report by Boston Consulting Group (BCG). In 2023, India has generated roughly $590 billion in new financial wealth, marking its largest increase in the history. India will add up to $730 billion annually to the overall growth of the region through 2028. The report says China and India are positioned to drive global wealth creation. Notably, China and India are positioned to drive wealth creation, having collectively generated $588 billion in financial wealth in 2023. India is expected to add about $730 billion annually to the overall growth by 2028, say Yashras Irande, India Leader Financial Services (BCG). Financial wealth in the Asia-Pacific region grew by only 5.1% in 2023, predominantly due to a slowdown in wealth creation in China. However, the report anticipates a significant increase through 2028, with the Asian region likely to contribute nearly 30% of new financial wealth by 2028. The report also observed that global net wealth registered a growth of 4.3% in 2023, following a decline of 4% in 2022. Much of this growth was due to a rebound in the financial market, as financial wealth, a subset of global net wealth, rose by almost 7% after a 4% decline in 2022. Looking ahead, the report estimates that $92 trillion of financial wealth will be created over the next 5 years. It also noted that generative AI will play a crucial role in the digital transformation of wealth managers, with use cases along the entire value chain. The financial wealth market has seen an uptick in the last year since its slump in 2022. The trajectory has been fairly well, but not as good as it was between 2014 to 2021. For the wealth creation market to go back to its previous era, the conditions should continue to be favorable, added Yashras Irande, India Leader Financial Services (BCG). The report also highlighted that financial wealth in North America and Western Europe bounced back in 2023. Supported by strong equity markets, North America was among the fastest growing regions, accounting for over 50% of all new financial wealth in 2023. The recovery was not as strong in Western Europe, where financial wealth rose by 4.4%. Wealth creation resumed in 2023, but even so, wealth managers cannot afford to stand still. To capitalize on growing global wealth, industry players, among others, will need to set a clear digital transformation strategy and leverage Gen AI to manage costs and improve client experience, said Michael Kaklich, a managing director and partner at BCG and a co-author of the report. The report stated that the most remarkable growth dynamics emerged in the United Arab Emirates, UAE. The UAE is currently the world's 7th largest booking center and is expected to surpass the Channel Islands and the Isle of Man as the 6th largest by 2028. Around 700 Bangladeshi prison inmates were still on the run after mass jailbreaks over the summer during the student-led revolution that ousted autocratic ex-premier Sheikh Hasina, authorities said Wednesday. Hasina fled in August to neighboring India, where she remains as her government collapsed at the peak of a popular revolt. In the weeks before her departure, revolts or seized by protesters at 5 prisons around the Muslim-majority South Asian nation saw roughly 2,200 inmates break out of their cells. Prison Chief Syed Mohammad Motahir Hossain told reporters that around 1,500 of the number has since been captured, with the remainder still at large. Hossain said that at least 70 fugitives were either terrorists or death row convicts. Hundreds of people marched on a jail in the city of Narsingdi, east of the capital Dhaka, on July 19, setting the facility on fire and setting hundreds of inmates free. 4 more prisoners were also attacked in the following weeks, including a high-security facility at Kasimpur, home to some of the country's most notorious criminals. Police spokesman Imam Hossain Sagar said efforts to track the remaining escapes were ongoing. We have instructed all the police stations to stay alert and arrest the escaped prisoners, he said. Sagar added that the police were also closely monitoring several top terrorists granted bail by court following Hasina's ouster. Hamas has claimed that it had intelligence that Israel intended to carry out a hostage rescue operation similar to the one conducted in Gaza's Nusayrat camp in June and threatened to neutralize the hostages if such an operation took place, according to a Reuters report. According to a Reuters report, in an internal statement dated November 22, Hamas instructed its operatives to disregard potential consequences for following the orders and said Israel would be held responsible for the hostage fate. The statement, which was circulated to its factions by the intelligence unit of the group's military wing, Is el-Din al-Qassam brigades, did not say when an Israeli operation was expected to take place, reported Reuters, citing a senior Hamas source. There was no immediate response from Israel to the statement, adding the report. On Wednesday, Israeli media quoted Defense Minister Israel Katz saying that pressure on Hamas was increasing and this time we will rarely be able to advance a hostage deal. Israel Nusayrat rescue operation on June 9 successfully freed 4 hostages who had been held by Hamas since October 2023. The raid, which Palestinian officials reported resulted in over 200 deaths, was one of the bloodiest Israeli assaults of the war. In its statement, Hamas instructed its operatives to tighten the living conditions of the hostages, in line with guidelines established after the Nusayrat operation. Under a section titled Recommendations, Hamas also ordered their operatives to active neutralization orders as an immediate and swift response to any adventure by the enemy. Israel launched its military campaign in Gaza after Hamas-led fighters attacked Israeli communities on October 7, 2023, killing 1,200 people and taking over 250 hostages, according to Israeli figures. The ongoing Israeli offensive has since resulted in the deaths of more than 44,500 Palestinians and left many others injured, according to Palestinian figures. The campaign has caused widespread destruction across Gaza. That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.